Hey everyone, I'm going to kind of show you what it's going to look like for your child to access Seesaw each morning. Now, just for the heads up, I'm doing this from a laptop, not from an iPad, so it might just look a little bit different, but it's pretty consistent. First, you'd go to your Seesaw website, or you would download your Seesaw for Students app, and then on here, we're going to click I'm a Student. And we're using our text code to sign in because that's what we either email to you, and it's also what you will be receiving in your packet. It has a QR code printed on there, so if you want to make it pretty easy for your kids to sign in, you could just hang that on the wall next to where they're going to be working the most. And on the iPads, you should just be able to touch like scan QR code. That way they can avoid typing in a 16-digit code each time. There should be this little button under here that says scan code, but I don't have one of those printed right now, so I'm just going to use my code that was sent out, and I will log in, and then here's what it's going to look like. Up here tells me which class I'm in. Over here on the right side, it says Anderson's reading. This is just a made-up class that I made just so I could play with it. Over here on the far left, you'll see your student's icon. It'll probably say student, and it might say 2 classes if you've joined our homeroom hangout class, but you just click on that to toggle back and forth between your classes. We will be doing most of our stuff in homeroom. That is where I ask, actually that's my homeroom hangout. That is where I ask that your child post all of their assignments that are actually required, which are the things that we emailed out, and there's also a paper copy in their packet. Each day, if they're a first grader, it would include their morning work as well as their drop in the bucket. And if they're a second grader, what we are requiring to post is their morning work, and then there are 5 problems that they do from their math. I completely understand that they are doing a lot more than that, and you are more than welcome in my specific classroom to post as much of their work as you would like. I know sometimes with little kids, it could kind of help with their accountability, and so then you don't have to have the conversations of, well, why do I have to do this if I don't have to hand it in? So just please feel free to have them post whatever you would like to have them post, and I will do my best to respond to everything that I see on there. When they go to post it, you would click the add button right here, and I would choose photo. So if I was doing this from an iPad, it'd probably be a little bit easier. Whereas, well, actually right now I can't do it because I'm using the webcam, so I can't use the photo example, but let's say that they had to write a note about what it is they read. They could click on notes and they could write it in on there. Using a photo is going to be the #1 way that they probably do respond to that, just because they can snap a picture of what it is they did. And then what I'll do is I'll get in throughout the day and I will look at the work that they have completed, and I will go through and I will make a comment on their work. And so say, for example, if your child was in first grade and doing a drop in the bucket that looks like this, sorry, I'm not very good with camera, I might say, hey, look at #2 and check out your 3rd answer. And I'm going to try to do my best to do voice recording so it's real feedback like I would actually use in the classroom, and just to kind of make it an actual learning experience a lot more. If I just give it a like, it means you're good to go. There's nothing you need to fix, or it might say great job, so don't worry about going back and fixing any of that. And honestly, guys, don't stress logging back in to see if there's corrections. Like if I had a kid in my classroom who was doing this, when they go to do the next day or to upload the pictures or to work on their packet, that might be a time that I have them check back at their previous work and see if there's anything that they need to fix. Like, honestly, I feel like we should be able to do this all in an hour. And I don't want there to be any stressors with it. I don't want you guys to be worried or concerned about them posting something wrong. We're all in this together and we're totally going to figure it out. And I'm excited to be able to interact with your kids. I'm excited to be able to teach a little bit more. But that's going to be the primary way that they upload their assignments. Now, one other thing that I have done and will probably continue to do is I might give them an activity, which is right over here. See how there's a little 3 icon in there? If you just click on that. So today's activity, since we don't have our reading packet, is retelling your favorite book. And it goes through and it gives them step-by-step directions on how to respond to this assignment. The really cool thing that I like about this app is, you know what, we're not all readers yet, and that's okay. Down here underneath those, it says play instructions. Reading and talking about books with your family is fun. And they will read the exact instructions that are up here above for your student to do. Again, I'm not worried about you going step by step by step by step. The goal is to have your child read and to share about what they read. And so again, if you're not able to figure out one of these steps, it's okay. Just add it as a comment. But after today, after they read their favorite book and they follow the directions to do the retelling to the best of their ability, they can come down here and there's a green button that says add response. And you can either add a response with a drawing that they could draw on their iPad, like something to this effect, or if they wanted to draw a scene of their favorite book, they could do that. Or they could do a photo of their favorite page, or they could do a video of, whoops, I clicked the wrong button, a video of themselves retelling the story or just telling me about what they read, whatever is easiest. The notes is where you can type out the instruction or their response, or they can type it out. Also know with notes, if you're on an iPad, there's that voice to text feature that they could use. Just kind of trying to think of ways to work around things that might be harder for them. Let me go back in here. So I'm not going to submit to that. So whenever they see these activities in here, that's where they would respond. See, I haven't done any of the other ones in my student account. The inbox for students is a little bit weird because they can't respond. Only from the family app can you actually respond to the inbox. So it's called an inbox, but really it just means this is where they would get all of my announcements. And then notifications just tells them, like, if I commented on something that they posted, they would have like the little red thing over here. So their journal, it's kind of like their live feed. This is where they're going to have all the posts of me, and then when they start to complete work, it will show up on their journal alone. And that should be it for as far as our homeroom. Now, our homeroom hangout that I kind of chatted about yesterday, if you chose to join, you toggle over to the other one. And this is where I'm just going to put extra stuff for fun. I know that the block teachers have kind of sent out a choice board. And there's other cool activities that I find on Seesaw that I want to post. But please know that anything in the Anderson Homeroom Hangout page is not something they have to do. This is just for fun. This is if you're at home and you want something for them to do, you can just say, hey, go into Anderson's Homeroom Hangout and see what you can do. And we'll try to have some different things in there. I did have on here, like, for everybody to post a selfie of what they did today, just so I can see what students are able to get into the classroom. But that classroom kind of runs the same way. I'm going to toggle back over here to our homeroom. And I think that should be everything that we need to know. Yeah, I think that should cover most of it. Please let me know if you still have any questions or there's anything else that I haven't shared. I am totally available, and I will do myself to make myself available. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.